Yesterday I put up about I'm having trouble with my phone, the sound, but then all kinds of trouble with it. So I was Googling last night. Uh, that's the last site I was on was Wikipedia, I believe, but I Googled Bear Bryant, who was coach at University of Alabama Crimson Tide, that brought it back from devastation back when I was probably in the ninth grade at Moulton, Alabama. And I put up here about being kidnapped and brought from England over here to Moulton, Alabama, and given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I have to use that name. I married Childers. I found out my real ID in '83, uh, and that both twins were actually dead. I knew Carl was, but they gave me her name. But I want to go to, I did a book, medical malpractice book, before I found out about my kidnapping in '83. I was writing about mind control murders and done in patterns. I'd worked for doctors. And they teach you the Morse code when you don't know you're getting it. It's at a hearing level you're not aware of. Like the dog hears a shrill whistle and uh, perk their ears up, but you can't hear it. So you're given it, and this has been going on. I wrote the book, and it's unpublished because they tried to kill me. In '76, I started it, and then I had antifreeze put in me April Fool Day of '80. And so anyway, they were done in patterns like Larry Flint or Lawrence Flint. I was taken to Lawrence County, Alabama. Larry is a nickname. And you get all this in twins, and it fits into patterns that were deliberately done because mind control is invisible. You can't see it. So anyway, I've put all this up over and over, and with information. And Larry Flint was shot, and the person was programmed to shoot him and kill his attorney in Lawrenceville, Georgia. And I was living in Marietta, not far away, when he was shot and killed. So there's a whole list. The Tucson, Arizona, with twins Martin Scott Kelly are astronauts married to Congressman Gabby Gifford, and the shootings there were mind controlled under pattern. There's lists and lists of them. But last night, something was already wrong with my phone, though. I just got it back August the 14th this year because I've got political, and all this is very political. And I had my phone stolen by none other than Angela Queen. How's that? You should hear her adopted children's names. But anyway, it was messed up kind of then, to say the least, not just kind of. But anyway, last night I Googled Bear Bryant because I remember being my home was taken, everything. I shouldn't have lived through the antifreeze. But, and they've tried to kill me other times. It was like ongoing, my life and my children's. And I remember the first time that I went, it's the timeline. The first time that I went to Florida, that's where I was married, Kissimmee, back years, well, yeah, years ago. But I went back, and really it was sad, as after they'd tried to kill me and everything. But it was on November the 16th of '82 that I ended up down there. And as I drove through, that's when Mayor Martinez daughter was kidnapped, and she was the first child on the milk cartons of the missing children. So I went back to Atlanta, and then ended up coming back and working at the Tampa Hilton as sales secretary. And I'm just going to say this. I remember standing, I was still there until probably March, about March of that year. I worked at the Tampa Hilton. And I remember they had, I wish I knew where it was. I was trying to Google and couldn't. Bear Bryant because I knew I stood in front of a statue built to him there in Tampa. And I was Googling back last night, and he died while I was down there in Tampa. So I did see I was sure I did, and I was sure of when he died because I'm a Crimson Tide fan. No matter what else, I like Alabama Crimson Tide football and Bear Bryant. And so anyway, he was knocked off. I didn't see how he was supposed to have died when I Googled last night, but there, I've got this notice that popped up right after I had seen Bear Bryant in his hat and all that, the hat he wore. And it said I had 4 viruses, and it looked legit. It really did, but I didn't touch it. Now then, today it's got 6 viruses on it, and it looks all legal, telling me to immediately. It's from Google, and it's about my telephone on there, etc., etc. So I didn't touch that either. All I want to say is, in all this mess of patterns and people calling me names and my life being a living hell, I got nothing out of this. Was kidnapped, brought over here, and my kids just literally, we were destroyed every day. So I want to say something. When my phone was taken out by Angela Queen, you should hear that and what she got out of this mess here in Troutville. But I went down to Walmart. I'd called several times trying to see where I could get a phone I could afford, and someone helped me with it. And I went down, and you can laugh at this if you want to, just people have, I'm saying that because a lot of people have. They want to dismiss it. Oh, it's very real. They can program armies now. But the point being, when I went down there in August, they assigned, and it was the assign. I have to laugh. All of it's ludicrous that people have let all this mess go on. I went down to Walmart's, and finally a guy came out. Him hauled around, and I'm kind of aware of all this mess. I've lived it. So then a guy came out, and his name was Aaron, as in Aaron Hotchner of Criminal Minds, FBI. So I guess all I have to say is, if anybody's got a virus on here, you might want to check out who you're dealing with, who controls this phone, really. All right?